Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Guitar Talk with Todd here at Todd Beebe Music. Thanks as always so much for checking in today. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button down there in the lower right hand corner. Comment, like, share, all the good stuff we always love you guys to do. Today we have another guitar review. This is a first on the show. Somebody wrote in a while ago and said, how come we never have any acoustic guitars on the show? We've kind of majorly had a ton of electric guitars, which we always will. There's a ton of more of those coming in. We love our electrics around here, but we also love acoustics. I'm a full-time musician, as many of you know, so I play music throughout the week, every week, and a lot of the gigs I do are on acoustic guitars. This is the very first acoustic on this show, so I figured I would break her in with mine. This is my main gigging guitar right here. This is a Martin D-16. This is Rachel Alexandra. She is named after the famous horse because she is a workhorse without a doubt. This is a 1999 model. I have played a ton of shows with this guitar. But as most of you who know me know, I do Beebe my guitars, so a lot of people see this and are kind of blown away that it's as old as it is. But I've had this guitar a long time. I've done a ton of gigs with this thing. This guitar I stood in the field at the original Woodstock site and played Creedence songs on this guitar. This guitar has been everywhere from Woodstock to on stage at Buddy Guy's Legends to outdoors in the middle of a blizzard under a tent when we had to make some music during COVID and kept it going, and huge stages and dive bars out in the middle of nowhere. It's been everywhere and anywhere and in between. It's like a road companion for me, and I'll never part with this. This is a grave guitar for sure. Going to the grave guitar for sure. I love this thing. At that particular time, they had not done a whole ton of Sunburst. They had, and they still do, but what they always do is kind of a limited run, because especially in 1999, they were more your traditional natural wood color that the D-16s were all coming out in. So they put out a limited run of these, 250 of them, and this is one of them that was in Sunburst that year. So nothing super rare about it, but I've always loved the Sunburst colors on Martin guitars. I love the natural too. Martin guitars are just awesome. I'm such a Martin guy. When it comes to acoustic, most of you, if you see me do an acoustic show, you'll notice I always have a Martin. The Dreadnought guitar, or Dreadnought body style, as I should say, was invented by Martin in 1916. Martin was the first ones to put it out. It was named Dreadnought after the old Dreadnought battleships, because up until that point, most acoustic guitars were what they call like parlor style. They were parlor guitars, so they were a lot smaller. They still make a lot of those. I know Martin does, but they don't have the big full bodies on them. So when you strum them, they're very, weak, and they're great for certain things, playing at home for sure. But Martin was the first one that came out with the Dreadnought guitar, which just has that big full. What they say, it sounds like a cannon. This is definitely one of them. She rings out beautifully. Sitka spruce top, mahogany back and sides. Yes, like we said, very even single note stuff. Picking out arpeggios. Even jazzier type of chords. Just a beautiful, beautiful guitar from Martin. They always do fantastic work there on everything they build. I am sitting down today, most of you might have noticed, which is funny because usually when I do my acoustic shows, I stand, because I always wondered, like, do you have to sit down when you're doing an acoustic show? Everyone seems to, and I get it. It is relaxing, but I kind of like to stand when I'm playing live. But I figured for this episode of Guitar Talk, we'd do something a little bit different. I'm always standing up, so I figured we'd sit down for this one. But there she is. We're going to get some close-ups in the case like we always do. That beautiful Sitka spruce top there. And like I said, mahogany back and sides. Get the beautiful silkscreen Martin logo like you traditionally have. Established 1833. This particular guitar came like a normal acoustic. I installed the lrbaggs acoustic system in this guitar, and it's just so great. It's a microphone pickup. lrbaggs stuff is fantastic. If you're not familiar with them, get familiar with them. They have just tons and tons and tons of stuff. I use a lot of their pedals too live. They've got some fantastic things that help with controlling feedback and what. Just check them out. lrbaggs are fantastic. I use a lot of their stuff at live shows, and as far as amplifying acoustic guitars, I love putting them into my guitars that don't have them. So I know you can get a lot of guitars that have them installed. Fishman obviously is another great one that you'll see installed in a lot of things. And I mean, pretty much anything that's being installed in a professional line of guitar is going to get the job done. And it's all just great stuff. Fishman, it's all fantastic. I just have a real love for lrbaggs. I always have. They're just a phenomenal company. And what I've always liked to do is take a normal guitar like this that's not electric acoustic, it's just a normal acoustic, and I end up installing the pickup system myself. Like I said, the Lyric is the one that I particularly use. I love the Lyric. Sounds fantastic and takes a long time to get the feedback to happen, which a lot of them aren't really like that. The minute you start cranking up the PA, it's like, oh, it's an acoustic guitar. I found the lrbaggs, particularly the Lyric pickup, is just fantastic. I've played this out at festivals and stuff where they've had to really crank me up, and the sound guy will even say afterwards, man, that acoustic, I was like on it waiting for it to go, and I'm like, it's not going, and it's just fantastic. Like I said, a lot of sound guys will comment on how well this is. But anyway, as far as sound, like I said, she's just beautiful. More finger style, like blues stuff. fantastic tone, big full chords. Just beautiful, very bassy, get that great bottom end, but yet the highs are there too. Just very well balanced. I've always found a lot of, pretty much every Martin I've played has been like that. Even their, years back when I was a kid, I wanted a Martin, and of course you couldn't afford them back then because they didn't make a beginner line or a more affordable line. They have since opened up a plant in Mexico that are way more affordable, and a lot of my students have those, and they're fantastic. They sound great, they play phenomenal, and they're obviously way more affordable. So anything that's made in Nazareth, Pennsylvania at the Martin plant is not cheap, but it's well worth it. If you've ever toured the Martin plant in Nazareth, you know what I'm talking about. If you have not, make sure you do. Connie and I toured the plant several years ago, and it's just fantastic to walk through there and see all the work, so much of it still being done by hand, just exactly what you'd expect. You go on the tour and they're sanding the necks and the slots for the tuners up here, and the tuning pegs and the holes are, and just so much of it's done by hand, and you walk out of there and you're like, well, okay, kind of see why they cost as much as they do now, because you're getting paid, you're paying for that American-made quality, handmade quality, and Martin just does a fantastic job. I salute them. I love that company. They've always done just fantastic work. Let's check her out in the case and get some close-up shots here. Here we go. Okay, so here is the case for the 1999 Martin D-16 in Sunburst. This is actually not the correct case that originally came with this guitar. When I got this guitar secondhand from someone who sold it to me, it was just in a regular, what they call a D series, and D obviously referring to Dreadnought. So it was a Dreadnought series case, and I just didn't care for it, and I found one of these, an original Martin case for this, and it's been in this a long time now, but this was not the original case that came with this, but that's okay. It's still a Martin case, so it does the job. All right, so there she is. Classic Sitka spruce top there. Just beautiful. Like I said, at the time in 1999, they had done not very many in Sunburst, particularly that year. Everything was natural. So this was a run of 250 that they put out, and obviously this is one of them. We got the classic, saddle here with the bridge pins, which you would have on a traditional Martin. You've got the binding on the neck here, ebony fingerboard with the circle fretboard markers going up to the classic Martin headstock there. Let's kind of take her out of the case and look at the back and the sides here a little bit more. Okay, so there's the mahogany back and sides. You've got the binding going on here. Like we said, we've got binding on the neck as well. And then the classic mahogany back here, which is also just beautiful. The wood grain on that. Going all the way up on the neck here. Trying to focus. All the way up to get the Martin tuners going on. I should mention that these are like the mini Martin tuners. So that was one of the things that let's flip on the D-16s to make them a little bit more affordable than a D-28 or a D-35 or something like that. The tuners are a little bit smaller, what you would call the mini Martin tuners, but they get the job done. They're not quite as large as the Grovers, so you don't have quite as much to sort of grab onto there, but that's never bothered me at all. In fact, when it comes to tuning and throwing a string winder on those, it's probably even a little bit faster to get the job done because they're not as big. So that doesn't bother me in the least. I do a thing. I use the D'Addario quick release on these, and I, keep in the case, I keep it up here. All right, so I've sort of got these apart here. So any of you that know anything about these, this part sort of clicks into here, and then you've got the, that clicks together, and then when you want to release it, you just push that and it releases. That way you can use a strap. I always loved that. And you don't have to drill out there for a strap button at all. A lot of people have asked me that. I saw one guy in a forum writing about saying it looks unprofessional to use this. But here's a picture of a guy who also does this with his acoustic guitar and doesn't drill a strap button. And maybe he'll be professional one day. Who knows? But that's what I'm saying. This is living proof that I don't know what that was supposed to mean. It doesn't look professional, but it really doesn't matter to me. I want the guitar to stay up and have a strap on it, and these work fantastic. So I highly recommend the planetwaves quick release. This part goes onto the strap, and this part goes under the strings, and just it's so simple, but it just works fantastic. It hooks up here, so it keeps this out of your way enough that your hand isn't bothered at all. And I love those. I would much rather do that than drill out a strap button. If your guitar already has a strap button, a lot of them come with it already like that, fine. I've just never felt the need to drill that out. Once D'Addario came out with those, I just thought that was fantastic. A couple of you have asked about what strings I use. Let's get those out of the compartment here. Okay, so speaking of D'Addario and planetwaves, I'm a big fan. I've been using these exclusively on acoustic guitars for the last several years now. They haven't really been out that long, these in the history of D'Addario and guitar. I guess it's actually pronounced D'Addario. They told me when I called them a while ago. But I always say D'Addario, but it's actually D'Addario. So get that right. But anyways, I've been using these exclusively. They've been out for a while now. I was lucky enough to be one of the testers on these when they came out, or when they tried them out, and I just love them. These are the D'Addario nickel bronze acoustic guitar strings, 12 to 53. Flip these around on the back there. You can kind of see you got 12, 16, 24, 32, 42, 53 nickel bronze. This is what I've pretty much been using exclusively on my acoustics, especially Rachel Alexandra, for many years now. So try those out. I think you'll love them. I find they pop more, they project a lot more, and I find they have longer life than any other string I've tried too. I never have a problem with strings breaking or anything when I use these. But I also have to give a shout out to strumhard. If you've never tried strumhard, I've been using them exclusively too for several years now. This is a thing that goes over the sound hole like this. And for me, when I was playing and picking back here, I have a habit of going real deep with the pick. I always have. And I noticed on some of my other guitars, I was starting to carve out a little trench after a while. So years ago, I took an old pick guard that I found, cut a piece of it, a clear one, and kind of glued it on another guitar to keep that from happening. And then I saw Strumhard came out with this, and I just was blown away. I was like, this is exactly what I've been looking for. So it's real easy. It just slips right over there. They make these in black and other colors too, but I like the clear ones. You can't even really tell it's on there, but I have had people come up and ask me all the time what that's for. They have different series. They have one now that covers the whole sound hole. I've been lucky to have Strumhard send me some of those, and I've been trying them out. I do believe this is probably still my favorite one though, but they're a fantastic company, Strumhard. I'm going to put the link down below in the description here on this YouTube video, so check them out. I'm going to put their website up on there so you can get a hold of them, and they're just fantastic. And I really, really like their stuff, and they've done just a fantastic job, and they've been great to me with helping get these on my guitars, and I'm just a big supporter. So Strumhard, make sure you check them out. All right, so you can see up under there is the volume control for the lrbaggs lyric pickup. It just sticks right under there underneath the sound hole at the top, and that basically controls the volume, and that's it. Everything else comes out of here in the back like we were looking at earlier. So here you've got there's where the jack comes out right on your strap button, so that screws on over the jack, and then of course you can put the strap on, and then your 1/4-inch jack comes right out of there. Like I said, I put these in all my acoustics that I play out, primarily this one, as this is Rachel Alexandra, the workhorse, so she gets that lyric in there, and I just love it. I think it's fantastic. But there she is, guys, the 1999 Martin D-16 in Sunburst. Beautiful guitar. All right, guys, so there she is in the case, a beautiful guitar. Let's check her out and do some playing here. I'm going to play along with a blues backing track. I'm also going to do like an Allman Brothers Melissa type of thing. I was playing the chords to that earlier. I'm going to do some leads over the top of that in my Salute to Dickie Betts, one of my favorite all-time leads, of course, going on through that tune, and just a fantastic tune to play on acoustic guitar here, written by Greg Allman, of course. And then I'm going to do some acoustic slide. But let's see what she sounds like here. Check her out. guys, so there is the 1999 Martin D-16 in Sunburst. Rachel Alexandra, I call this one. She has been my workhorse for many, many, many years. I've played tons and tons and tons of gigs with this guitar, and I plan on playing tons and tons more. She's been all over and back with me, from big stages to dive bars, from fields to palaces to someone's garage. She's been everywhere and anywhere. And you know, it's kind of weird. I want to kind of go out on that note. There's guitars, we all are kind of guilty of it, especially if you collect it all. You like to keep some, and it's like, oh wow, I don't want to get that one out. I don't want to nick on it at all. I don't want to scratch it at all. When I first got this guitar, I felt that way for about a month, and then I was like, what do I have this thing for? I need to get this out and start playing it. And it's got, you know, a couple of little nicks and stuff here and there that were unavoidable. Like I said, most people see this and say it's in fantastic shape, which it is for a 1999 model, which is 23 years old, because it's 2022. So 23 years old this guitar is, and it's pretty in fantastic shape. I always watch the headstock, and I'm real careful with, you know, minute the gig's done, get her right in the case and don't get her out until you're about to start. I think that goes a long way. But that being said, the whole point of what I'm going for here, I think you bond more with, I know you bond more with, you know, this guitar. Do I have some, or have I seen some that are in way better condition than this? Absolutely. But you know, when you're gonna say to me, well, Todd, you've got a real important gig tomorrow, you need to, you know, take a guitar with you, you know, you can rely on to get the job done. As far as acoustic goes, I'm not even gonna think about it. It's this one. This is the one going to the gig, because it's gonna get the job done, and it fits like a glove, and I just know this guitar very well. You know, she's a great friend, and we've been through a lot together and been to a lot of places together. And when you have a guitar like that it feels like an extension of your body, that's it. You know, that's what it's all about right there to me, not keeping them pristine in a case. I mean, that's great, I guess, but it's really cool to bond with one too, and I certainly have with this one. So anyways, you guys, thanks so much for checking in. Once again, please subscribe. Hit the button down there in the lower right-hand corner. I'm trying to get my subscribers up here, so I appreciate it. Find us on Facebook at Todd Beebe Music. Please comment. Let me know what you think about Martin guitars. I love them. Let me know if you have one, if you've played one. Maybe you're thinking about getting one. If you have any questions, drop me a line. Stay safe and love your dogs, and we will see you again. Take care.